thing. So, ladies and gentlemen, my name is DJ AWOL. I'm with Vibe and Vision Production. Next slide, please. It all started with me in the military. I got out of high school and I was like, what the hell am I going to do? My mom kicked me out. No, I'm just kidding. She didn't. I left. But I was like, I need to get into the military. She was so proud. And I became a rescue swimmer. I've been all over the world. I've done 3 deployments. I got out of the Navy as a rescue swimmer, and I was like, you know what? I just want to do it again. And so I tried to get back onto a different ship. Didn't work out, and I was like, okay, I'm out. But I ended up joining the National Guard, and so I ended up, that's what the 2 bottom pictures are. So I was in the Navy and Army National Guard, both of those. And boom, next slide. Look at me. And then I got a job. And one of the things about me getting jobs is I do not want to do anything that is not fun. If it is not fun, you are not going to see me doing it for very long, unless it's a lot of money, and then, again, it won't be very long. So I worked at the Stump Ranch, and if anybody knows what that was from a while back, oh yeah, you definitely know. But I ended up working there a lot, and I got to throw people off of a tower onto a big airbag. I got to do flips off of that. Like, it was so much fun, and I load people up with the car. It was super dope. But I got jobs. I worked at Starbucks, and then my first actual DJing gig, that was probably about 13 years ago, with my first rig or whatever, and that was at Stardust right down the road from here. Next slide, please. Then I joined a traveling circus. Let me tell you, right before COVID happened, I got a call from a buddy saying, hey, we are looking for somebody to handle the concessions. Now, don't get me wrong, I would have asked, like, what do you think I was? But we don't have time for that. So they asked me to be part of their concessions team, and I was like, I've never thought about this, let's go. So I dropped everything, sold off everything that I had, got a truck and a trailer, met up with Circus from Portland, Oregon, met them in Miami, Florida, and started my travels. And then lo and behold, 6 months later, boom, COVID happened, and they're like, disbanded. All right, the troop disbanded, but it was such a great experience. I've always kept in touch with them. They had me come back. Specifically, I was the cotton candy magician. I could make that cotton candy look like a freaking cloud. It was amazing. So they paid me so much money to come back for 1 week just to make cotton candy. And one of the proudest moments. I'm sorry, like, anybody can make cotton candy, but they asked me to come back. And so I tried to train, and if I had to pick one apparatus to be my thing, would be the, it is called the, it's not the German wheel, it is the hamster wheel. I can't remember, but that thing. So the coin is what I do. Next slide, please. Then I have my family. Now this is an old presentation that I did for my old one, but my mother, who's there, she is the one of my biggest fans, and yes, my brother, we knew Leslie at that point, and then my beautiful wife, who was my at this time we were engaged, but now we're married, and then I have a family away from family in San Diego. So the only way I get to see my son as much as I do is basically a military buddy of mine lives out in San Diego, and I get to go stay with him. So for the last 8 years, they've been the closest thing to family other than family. My son took him snowboarding this last year. It was incredible. And next slide. And this is Grayson. This is my son. If it plays, is there a sound? Well, this is like a video, but you know what? Never mind. Oh yeah, do it.
Oh yeah.
Daddy.
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 Aww.
Daddy. Daddy.
It is good. I was so excited. First time he said daddy, and I had it on camera. It was so dope. I loved it. I'd bring him wherever I could. But this is before he moved to San Diego. Before I moved to San Diego. So next slide, please. More of him. Look at that. He's a little DJ. I ended up bringing all my equipment out there, setting up in a park, and playing for a little bit with that. It was super awesome. But that's my son Grayson. Next slide, please. Hey, it's Grayson. Next slide, please. Hey, what do I do for fun? I like doing anything, again, fun, exciting, dangerous. I am in. I've been skydiving, snowboard, roller skating. I bungee jumped in Mexico off of a cliff, and it was amazing. Next slide. It started from the bottom. Now we here. But started from the bottom back in 2003. I mean, horrible equipment, horrible stuff, thinking that I knew exactly what I was up to. No, didn't work out. But that's where it started. Next slide. And this is what Brad Turner was part. This is Brad Turner right here. He was part of my first crew. I ended up thinking, hey, I got to grow big. I got to go do something. So I was like, oh, you're a photographer, you're part of me. You're a videographer, you're a part of me. Let's go do this. And so they were part of my first wedding show. And then like shortly after that, it all blew up because I didn't know how to run anything. And so they're like, hey, this isn't going to work out. So, but anyways, it's all started with Off-Key DJ Productions. Somebody was like, hey, it's a horrible name. We're a 5-star venue. We can't promote a 2-star name. And I was like, oh, crap. Let's figure this out. So I ended up changing to the wedding DJs, the event DJs, the photo booth guy. Like I had all these separate brands. And I was like, no, hell no. It was so hard. Couldn't make a website as easy as you could today. And so I switched that all back to Spark the Night Entertainment. Had that going until I moved to California for my son and kind of split my business in two and gave a lot of it to this middle guy here, Nima, who is my business partner for Bat City Beats. And from there, we kind of grew, or from there, he grew, I came back and we partnered up. Next slide, please. Me and Nima have been business partners for years and years and years. If he wasn't a lead DJ of mine, we've been business partners. We go to galas, we go to different training opportunities. We got to meet Red Foo from LMFAO, but that's Nima, my business partner. Next slide. And then boom, this is me. I'm DJ AWOL. And if you can't tell, it's on the screen. Next slide. And now we're here. Now we do crazy events. We are the epic DJs. We want to take your event from just, oh cool, I need music, to holy shit, did that just happen? All right? So we have upgrades, we have all kinds of stuff. If you want the basic stuff, you're going to get the setup behind you. But if you want that elevated experience where you want to take it from, all right, that's kind of cool, to holy shit, that is where you want to be. So we have a lot of stuff. Next slide. I'm trying to get through this really fast because I'm doing a DJ set for 5 minutes or not. Anyway, we have a photo booth. Awesome. Next slide. That's it. My brother, he's helping me out. Boom. Next slide. Uplighting. It's super cool. Next slide. The extras. We have cold sparks. We have CO2 cannons. We have a bounce house. We have uplighting, all kinds of monograms. Next slide. They're all my socials. Next slide. And now, By Division Productions. This is my new company. I just started this out probably about the beginning of the year, but I'm focused on trying to get out to San Diego and back and all that kind of stuff. Next slide. This is who you can play this. This is who I hope to be at 60. And when this is done, go back to my premonitions.
Right, you can let that go. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is however long.